What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Nut Yard here on The Ben Thomas Show, the show where we have open mic discussions. Anybody who joins in today, if you feel like asking me some questions while I'm here, that is what I'm here for. Otherwise, I'm kind of just excited to be here, to be honest. I have a surprising unboxing to do today, and I have no actual idea what's in this thing. So, a little bit of the story. Let's get some music going here for us. A little bit of the story. Most of you guys know I'm a guest kind of every Tuesday on Collecting Weekly, the YouTube channel. And I always have a good time with those guys over there. And Zach, the Oxfather, randomly messaged me about a week ago and was like, "Hey, dude, we've won the lottery." And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, "Something I never thought I'd find or be able to get, or something along those lines. I've got it coming to you. So give me your address. I'm sending it your way right now. We've won the lottery." I'm like, what the heck could he possibly be talking about? And so this was a couple weeks ago now. There was some delays in getting it out the door. And so finally, the package has arrived. I have not opened this yet. I have absolutely no idea what's in here. So I'm going to open this on stream so you guys can see my genuine reaction. I have a feeling it's relatively tailored to me. I'm hoping it's not like a weird like pink dildo or something random, but I mean, Zach loves me hopefully more than that, so we'll find out, I suppose. And then afterwards we're going to talk a little bit about Jazzinc, the Batman and the Batmobile. We're going to talk a little bit about J&D and Joker choices. We're going to talk a little bit more about Hot Toys news that Grogu, the life-size Grogu, that's super random. So here, you know what? Tell you what, before I get this tape open, let's run at least the very brief intro that I have for this. And this is a work in progress, so keep you guys posted. All right, let's get this open. I have no idea what's in this box. What? Okay, so there's a note here. So it says, "To love's eternal glory, miracles happen." I love you, buddy. Check this shit out. Check this out. I was so jealous. I was so jealous of Zach when he got a YouTube sweater. I was like, "How'd you get that? Where can I sign up for one?" And he was able to get me one, and perfect sizing, dude. This looks awesome. Hell yeah. If you were watching, man, hell yeah. That's a nice sweater. What? That's so random. Like, okay, you're gonna have to tell us in the chat how you ended up locking that in. And Job's Not Finished sticker is in there as well. Love to see it. And check this out. One of the new membership badges that Collecting Weekly's got going. Pretty freaking cool. Dude, that is awesome. Thank you, Mr. Zach. Collecting Weekly, ready to bust a nut. You absolutely know it. I will make sure that I get this on before the end of the stream today. It's double XL. I'm a pretty big guy, so it'll probably fit me perfectly, if not be slightly larger, which I am 100% okay with. Dude, that's freaking amazing. I had no idea what it was. As I said, I didn't know if it was going to be like something 3D printed. I just literally no idea. He's had some pretty stiff competition lately with Mike's Adventure World, so I didn't know if maybe they collaborated. I had no idea, so that's a pretty cool surprise, man. Thank you very much, guys. We have already 15 people watching here today. It's just going to be a chill session today. Oh, should be 3 stickers on the box. What's that? Let me see. I'm only seeing 2. I'm only seeing 2, man. Unless it got launched in the sweater here. I don't see a third. Fucking mailman stole it. You hate to see it. No, I don't see a third, buddy. Don't see a third. So let me know which one I'm supposed to be getting in there. But yeah, this is going to be a chill. I'm only going to be here for about an hour. I don't want to encroach on Brother Cousin's stream there as well. I know he's got the best of the best this evening, and then probably Collector Joey, I think, afterwards. Make sure you tune into those boys. They're always good times. I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit. Let's see who we got in the chat here already. I want to say a quick hi to all of the folks. Ethan says, "Bro, put the spoiler in the thumbnail." So yeah, hey, you know what? I didn't think it was much of a spoiler. I saw basically a Daredevil spoiler, which I've now moved to the end of the show today. and it was all over Facebook, like all over it. So, I mean, honestly, if you just opened social media today, you probably saw it. But we'll talk a little bit about Daredevil and maybe an upcoming costume that we may get a chance to see of his, or uniform outfit, all of the things. JB says, and a pink dildo. Goddamn, glad it's not, man. Goddamn. Can you imagine? Team Ollie86 says, hey everyone, good to see you here, my friend. Thanks for being here as always. Ryan Smith, good to see you, buddy. Hey Ben and chat, Nutbuster. Love to see it. Now, one of the other reasons I'm not doing, or I am doing a show today, very brief one, just by myself, is because I'm going to be gone all weekend. I'm flying back across the country this weekend, starting tomorrow, so I will miss another Let's Get Nuts this Sunday. So that's two live shows in a row of Let's Get Nuts that I've missed. So we will be back the following Sunday, but as a result, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of live content to tune in, hopefully, as you guys are coming home from work today. We got Fig Poser. Love to see that. That's a good name, actually. I like that. We got Field of Burn here with us. Hey boys, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in just to hang out with us for a little bit. Got Geo, the movie canon. Good to see you, my friend. He says, hello collectors, driving. Just wanted to say hello. Make sure that's a voice text, no texting and driving. Geo, be safe, buddy, but thanks for being here as well. Let's talk about the first topic. We now know what the mystery item is. I'm 100% going to get that sweater on before the end of this show, buddy. Oh, Valkyrie Magnus in the chat here as well. I can't miss you here, buddy. Good to see you as always. We got Sin in the chat. Hello, Ben and chat. Good to see you as well. Let's see, everybody. I think that's everybody so far. Good little turnout so far. So, guys, Jazzinc has been giving us a little bit more of what we can expect from this Batman. Now, I actually talked about this figure on the last Nut Yard show, and I was pretty excited. I mean, at the time, this is what we saw. And, you know, while you guys know this, Batman the Animated Series is my favorite animated show of all time. By the way, I was at a store last night called Winners, which is similar, if you're an American, similar to a store called Ross in the States. But I was able to find this for $12.99. I was like, that's amazing. Like in freedom dollars, American dollars, that would be like an $8 t-shirt. So love to see it. It fits, and I felt like it was appropriate for this show today. But yeah, they showed us this last week, right? And I think my critical take initially was I do like the sculpt of the head. I even like that there's a little bit of that blue in both the cape as well as the top. You know, I've been on record saying that for me, Batman the Animated Series, the first 2 seasons, is by far the best of the show, in my opinion. As soon as it moves into Adventures Continues, it's still good, but the art style changed a little bit. I didn't love that as much, and I thought that the depth of the stories changed a little bit. They weren't quite as, I don't know, young adult or even adult, in my opinion, as some of the wonderful first 2 seasons of episodes. But he also loses some of that blueness in the outfit, and he even has his logo changed at some point. Instead of it being the yellow and black, it goes to an all like slender black look. And so I never liked that style. I like this art style certainly more. But this body, I believe at the time Yost was saying from Jazzinc that this was supposed to be just kind of like a stock Fison body. If we liked this, then probably it would reduce the overall pricing. But I think for the most part, all of us had about the same take. He's too beefy. He's just way too beefy. He almost looks like a Batman Returns style Batman. Not quite that big, but it's on the level, right? It's going that direction. This is what we've had up till now, if you love the show, just like me. And now I've had this Mondo on the left in my display, and I do really like the figure, don't get me wrong. But one of my criticisms was that it always felt like just a larger version of what I already have in the 1/12 scale, right? That 7-inch line from DC Direct, or now McFarlane is doing them as well. And to be honest, since they weren't that much better, the paint applications were pretty much the same. I sold it. I moved it on. It and the Joker, I got rid of them. But I've still been craving having an animated style Batman, hopefully without seams, right? And so many folks sent me the S-Hero representation. They're like, Ben, you gotta check this out. I know our buddy 12-inch Moose Dream, he really likes his, and I've seen some collectors really enjoying it. But to be honest, it wasn't really for me either. I thought, like, if you see here the S-Hero on the bottom right, the head looks a little strangely sized. Like, it looks like a pin on a very large body, and I just don't love it. It's not to rag on it by any stretch if you got it and you like it, but I have not loved it. So You can see here the little picture above as well, all the representations of some of the animated suits that we have seen. I shouldn't say all. That's definitely not all. It's a couple. It's a snapshot. Some of the mainstays anyways. And this is what I was talking about with regards to Batman the Animated Series on the left, and then of course that black version of the logo and the cape and everything, and squares out his shoulders a little bit. He definitely looks like he skips leg day. I've never really thought about it all that hard, but like look at this representation of the render here. He definitely skips leg day. You hate to see it. Guys, we have almost 30 people here. Thank you for being here and just hanging out with me. I'm tired. It's been a long work week. I'm just excited to chill with you guys and talk about toys in a very unofficial way in comparison to Let's Get Nuts, which of course is super, super official. Ryan Dean here in the chat. He says, yo, what's good, Ben in chat? Good to see you here, buddy. Hope you're doing well, as always. We got Mr_Der. Howdy, y'all. Good to see you. We got Big Rip in the chat, as Dean would say. What's up, Ben and everyone? Good to see you here, buddy, as well. Clinton Martin in the chat as well. Good to see you, buddy. Howdy, folks. Hell yeah. So the render here is up on the right-hand side. Now, I've gone to the liberty of putting in, let's see. I'm just going to start it here now for us. I'm going to start up a poll for us, guys. If you don't mind, hit the like button if you're here to have some fun and enjoying the show so far. And feel free to vote in the poll, because I'd be curious, are you guys even considering going in on an animated Batman line? Now, obviously, Yost hasn't given us any price point, right? And if he's now looking at doing what we're seeing in the render on the right side is like a customized body, which is a lot closer to what we see in the animated representation here, then honestly, like, it's a buy for me. At least unless it's like $350 or higher. If it's anything more than that, it's getting into way too higher of pricing for me, and I just don't know if I could justify it. Also, I wouldn't be as excited, because then even if it's good, if he does other animated series characters down the line, you can't not have Batman if you're going to pose him up with Joker or Harley or Catwoman or Freeze or any of those guys, right? Like, he is the show. So the price point has to still be good, but then as collectors, what can we truly expect if we want mega accuracy? Right, if we want him to give us a custom Fison body, or maybe not even Fison, just custom body that looks like the cartoon representation or animated series representation, I don't know. I have to imagine that price point is going to get pretty freaking wild. So what do you guys speculate is the price? Let me know in the chat, and I'll call it out here for us as well. Let me just do this quickly, because with that poll, we also had a little bit of an update here on the Jazzinc Batmobile. And man, does this look freaking good too, right? Like, it's got that like blue pearlescent finish on there. Now, for me, I'm like, okay, once again, favorite character of all time, favorite animated series of all time, second favorite Batmobile. I still think that the 89 Keaton Batmobile is my favorite, if I'm being fully honest, but this is freaking cool, except that it's almost 5 feet long. And so I'm like, where will I put it in an apartment? I need to buy a house again, and I can't wait to see what some of you guys do with it. I think from my recollection, when this originally went up for pre-order, it would fit on a garage shelf, but like just. And of course, there's a couple of those ModuSpace Modu cases that also would fit this. I don't have any of those, and so for me, I'm like, I want to get it, but I want to get it almost just to keep it in the closet until such a day in which I have space to display it, which I don't always recommend doing. On the other hand, Jazzinc isn't Hot Toys. I don't think we're going to get a 2.0 and a 3.0 and on and on and on necessarily. So I could be wrong, but he seems like he really tries to nail this on the first try. I do think this looks freaking great. Mr. Durr says, the Batmobile looks incredible. The paint job is brilliant. Totally agree. When they originally showed this, I remember Yost was also really battling, do we make it more in the element of the real, or do we keep it with that like animated style and aesthetic? For me, it had to be animated, because I think one of the things that's weird about the S-Hero is that it's a little bit somewhere in between. I think that the Mondo version is excellent representation of the animated series, but because it's fully plastic, it doesn't necessarily look great next to other movie realistic or even TV realistic figures. So I think it has to still look animated, though. I think that it's not doing its job if it doesn't. And when the Batmobile was first shown by Yoast, it had a lot more of a real look to it, real world look. And I think most of us were like, no, we want the animated look more. I know that there is a full black version, I believe, as well as the blue and black version that we got on the screen here with this pearlescent look. I think this is the way to go, though, because if you watch most of the cell shading and most of the animation style of that original show that was drawn on black paper, when you see those streaks of blue both in the outfit of Batman and the Batmobile, man, it looks really freaking good. Looks really, really good. Sorry, guys, there's nobody here with me, so I gotta drink on stream. Love to see it. 5 feet long, Valkyrie. Yeah, it's not quite. I think it's like 4'8" or something, but it's long. It's really big. That's what she said. Niculio, Batman looking thicker than a KFC fire log. Man, I got a weird story about that, actually, now that you say that. That just unlocked a memory. We did Secret Santa in my office 2 or 3 years ago, and somebody brought a KFC fire log as the Secret Santa gift, and I ended up with it. I was able to white elephant, like it was a white elephant, so we didn't have to stick with it. We were able to trade and pass them around. So I was able to get rid of it, thankfully, to my buddy, and it was the weirdest gift I've ever received, though, and or looked at. It literally was a log that smelled like the inside of a KFC. The downfall is we burned it the one night while smoking a little weed and playing some video games, and it didn't even smell good burning. Like, it smelled like grease fire. So I don't recommend it. It's at least it's not for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely not for me. Ryan Dean says, with the new custom body, I was thinking $350 might be pretty close to the final price tag. I think if it's anything more than that, I don't think people will buy it. I think there's a ton of people like me who are like mega fans who will buy it almost no matter what, as long as it's like the best representation that exists. But I don't know if they can do it then at a mass kind of scale, right? To make it worth the money. Jagron 2 says, Ben Thomas, if you get an Artisan Anakin, you know you don't want it. You want to send it to me. Waves hand at the screen. Yeah, so I do have a pre-order locked in for the Artisan Anakin. That's so far the only Artisan figure that I've actually been successful at getting through the queue and getting a pre-order in for. But we're going to talk about that in a few minutes because of everything that's been going on as well. So yeah, maybe so, Lane, maybe so. Let's pull it up. So we've seen some skids here with some boxes on it. The SKU says Artisan Anakin is coming. No, we don't know exactly when that's going to pop up for folks mostly. I think for the most part, when we start seeing these photos, I'm always curious if these are photoshopped. Like, are they AI generated, or was somebody able to creatively stamp it and get people all excited and then it's still a month away? All of that is possible. But it's kind of in the slot. People have been asking, right? Where is Artisan Anakin? You know, we've now seen the Imposter Joker in the Artisan line, which so far, for the most part, anybody that I know that have it has been happy with it. Hair has been good. All of that's been good. And then there was, of course, all of this controversy with regards to the Joker, like the main release, the Artisan, where some collectors are reporting that they've got, glue issues, hair falling out, glue residue turning orange, a whole bunch of that stuff. And so I know that's put a big kind of asterisk or question mark on Artisan line for a lot of people because, especially if you're like me and live in Canada, but even the folks that I'm friends with here in the States, a lot of you guys, right? I mean, these are upwards of $500 a figure, and they're not getting any cheaper anytime soon. If we're going to spend that kind of money on these collectibles, we expect them to be damn near perfect. Now, you could argue that even the small percentage of folks who have reported issues with regards to that Joker is slim, like less than 1%. It still inspires a little bit of like trepidation or fear in, I think, me and most folks who have other Artisans locked in, right? Because now I'm still waiting on a Jack Sparrow, which, again, haven't heard any issues with yet. I'm still waiting on this Anakin. And I do have my sights set on. So I was able to get a deal from another collector on the Black Widow Artisan because I don't have a Black Widow in my collection, and she was beautiful, and I wanted to get that one. But that's 3 Artisans that are on my way, or that are on the way to me, which is $1,500 just right off the gate of these. that's a lot of money to spend if there's any issues at all. So has those issues with the artisan figure created any trepidation for you guys? Let me know if you can in the chat, and I'll read some of your comments out. Ryan Dean, with regards to the Batman, says, my logic equals, since the animated Batmobile is priced similarly to all other Jazzinc Batmobiles, I'd be surprised if the animated Batman was much cheaper than the other Jazzinc figures like Catwoman. I don't know. That's a good thought. I understand where you're going with it 100%. I think, well, I have to imagine there's really no likeness rights, right? So obviously there's the licensing rights, but Catwoman, you have to pay an actress like the wonderful Michelle Pfeiffer for her likeness to be able to do that figure. And while she's an aging actress, I mean, she's still very relevant. She's still fantastic in terms of her acting ability. And I can't imagine her license is all that cheap. So I would expect her to be higher. I also realized that, like with something like the Catwoman figure, they've had a heck of a time kind of nailing that cat suit, right? Because even the actress herself, she said, you know, when they were filming Batman Returns, virtually every other scene, that outfit was bursting off of her, like splitting at the seams, and they had to keep restitching it or giving her new ones. And so, as a result, as figure collectors, we're like, well, shit, I want the most realistic version of that cat suit available, but it better not rip, and it better be posable. And so I know that they've been having some challenges with that. So obviously there's been a little additional R&D and money and cash being thrown in to try and make that work in figure format, which I think would add to the price a little bit as well. I think that the Batman animated series, even with a custom body, has to be cheaper than like a licensed actor or actress. I think it has to be. I think the only difference would have been if somebody wonderful like Kevin Conroy had still been alive. You know, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. In my opinion, he will always represent the voice of Batman for me. If he was still alive and we could get like a signature plate edition or something like that, I would pay some big dollars for that. But no such luck, I don't think, or I fear, unfortunately. Curtis Booth here in the chat. Good, sir. Good to see you, buddy. Can't wait to see this Anakin. Not that I'll ever get my hands on one. Well, again, maybe I'll, maybe if I get the Anakin on the show here, because I'm going to get it either way. I'm going to bring it in. When I get it, I'll do a review on it. And if you guys are okay with a reviewed figure being then gifted as a membership item, if I decide I don't want to keep it, if you are a channel member, I think we've got 40 channel members right now. Maybe I'll do another channel member giveaway and give away the Artisan Anakin. Let me know if that would sound good to you guys. If that's one that you would like to see up in a giveaway. I'll get Little Titan here, or Little Titan. That's an awesome picture, man. What's good, Debate? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here. Big Rib says, I am really hoping for Artisan Darkseid Anakin to be announced. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. What would you guys rather have? That would have been another good poll too. Actually, let's check this other poll before we move on real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Poll was, we have 27 votes for getting the Jazzinc Batman. 22% said yes, 63% said no, and 15% of you guys said yes, but with Batmobile. So that's actually pretty interesting. Most people are a hard no. So I'll be curious to see, again, price point, how much R&D further they put into it, if it just doesn't have the same love that I'd want to give it. Give me 1 second. Let me do another poll here, guys. Let's see here. Would you rather Darkseid or regular Anakin Artisan? I would be curious what you guys would rather. Regular or Darkseid. Thanks for sticking with me, guys, while I make these polls. Love you guys. Cool. There's probably spelling mistakes in that, but I had to do it quickly. We had 36, almost 40 people watching, hanging out with me on a Thursday night. Love you guys. If you don't mind hitting the like button, that'd be awesome. I want to get more of these open mic sessions sent out so we can have some fun with everybody while they're here. Honest Hansel, channel member, and the first channel member who received a giveaway, the King Shark, says, hey Ben, I'll be at the Calgary Comic-Con Friday and Saturday. Send you a message on Messenger. Please do. I'm looking at being there on Saturday, and I am heavily considering the package that allows me to meet Daredevil. Matthew Murdock, of course. he's awesome. Charlie Cox is fantastic. I can't wait to see him. So, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Charlie Cox as well, because there's a teaser image that I'm going to show you guys later. So there could be spoilers. I don't really know. Let's be honest. But also, I want to go through the Avengers Doomsday list of all of the current people who have been announced as the cast, because I actually have a few surprises that I thought were going to be in the cast that are not showing up, and I was curious what you guys had to say about that as well. The Shape says, swap out eyes so you can have both Darkseid and regular. Hell yes, that would have been a great choice, except can you imagine how many people would lose an eye? And then you'd be seeing these these figures show up on buy sale trades, looking for a good price on a figure that has both eyes, please, preferably. Hate to see it. Blue Tattoo, haven't seen you here in a while, my friend. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. He says, yo, to feel the burn. Love to see it. Yeah, that would be funny. Let me know what you guys think, though. I honestly, if I had the preference, I actually think that Darkseid Anakin would also be the artisan figure I would rather have. I still have no Anakin in my display, which is crazy, right? There's been so many of them that have come out, and I think the Darkseid version was probably the coolest, except for the fact that he killed those kids in the movie. Like, that was a little wonky, but I mean, overall, it was pretty freaking cool. So let's keep it going, because we're at about 26 minutes in already, and I got still lots that I want to look at with you guys. Curtis Booth says, not sure how, but Toys Assemble already has a review up on the battle damaged Deadpool before Sideshow announced it. Must live over there, probably has a connection of some sort with the artists, or somewhere all of the above. While we let that poll run, let's bring this up here for us. Give me 1 second. Remove that, add to the stage. Cool. So this week as well, 16 Kit posted this up and says here in their Facebook group, people who pre-ordered J&D Studios KJW001B 6 scale Dark Knight Joker Type B. Please note, J&D offers 2 hairstyles for your selection. We will email you now, and please let us know which style you select. We need to report to J&D within a week. We will select the long hair version for you if you cannot have it reported within that 1 week time frame. Kindly note. That's probably the nicest note I've ever seen from Kit. And I'm surprised he's not losing his freaking mind. Because let's be honest, this has already been a pretty messy rollout for this figure. It was wildly expensive right from the get-go. I was on record as having been one of those stupid people. Not calling you guys stupid if you have this, don't get me wrong. I felt stupid for the amount of money that I was going to spend to get a Joker, and it was going to be well over $2,000 for me Canadian, which was wildly ridiculous. I've never even thought I would consider that. I remember when my first figure came in the door, and I thought a $250 DX12 Batman was a lot to spend, and yeah, $2,000 for a Joker is insane. 2,000 plus. But if it was going to be the best possible representation of Joker that existed on this planet in 1/6 scale, then maybe it was worth it. And then those photos started to kind of come out from that first batch, and I really honestly wasn't happy. In fact, I thought that there was some downgrades of the prototype, and so I canceled it, and I lost $200, which whatever, $200 lost is better than $2,000 that I'm stuck with spending and then still unhappy with the figure. And there was almost no chance I would have ever recovered that kind of money, right? So it's not about the money, it's about the collectible, but still, there's a lot of figures you can buy for that kind of money. And then, of course, about a week ago, and I think we might have touched on this actually on the last Nut Yard, about a week ago, J&D put up more photos of their updated version of Joker, and in my opinion, it looked better. They made great improvements again, and some of the folks out there who had canceled like me went, well, shit, now, like, that also frustrates me, because if they'd shown us this from the get-go, if this was the final version or representation they allowed for that kind of first batch, I think I would have stayed excited and I would have probably kept my order. But instead, I gut reacted and canceled and lost money, and that sucks. And now I'm FOMO'd again. Now I feel like I'm missing out. But for me, as you guys know, I've gone the custom route, so I'll let you guys know when I get that sculpt in hand. To me, it's one of the best sculpts I've ever seen, at least from the prototype stage. So I'm still happy with the route that I ended up going, and I spent way less money on the figure itself. But still, very messy release up to this point. But now there's one final wrench in the gears, right? For all of the brick and mortar stores, all of the places that may get this, all the resellers like Kit, who have orders in for Type B figures and have already gone through the stress of worrying that collectors are going to abandon their orders and they're going to be stuck with stock that they can't move because it's too expensive, all of that stress. Now there's an additional wrench of you can choose one or two different hairstyles, and hopefully everybody can be reached. Hopefully everybody that has this on order can get the memo. Because once again, like, it's nice that they're forecasting you've got a week to make the choice or we're going to make the choice for you. But if you're spending that kind of coin on a figure and you just, for some reason, you're like on vacation or something and you miss your opportunity to choose, and then you see this, man, once again, I would just be so frustrated with this process, both being a seller and a potential buyer. But I'm curious from you guys, what one do you like more? Is it the short hair? Is it the long hair? Do you guys even have a preference? I'd be curious. Let's pull up the poll here. So we had almost 20 votes here already on the poll for the Dark Side Anakin versus regular Anakin. 82% of you guys said you'd rather have a Dark Side Anakin Artisan. And I think Hot Toys knows it, to be honest. Don't be mad. Don't shoot the messenger. If we get an Artisan Dark Side figure right after we get the regular Anakin, I would not be surprised if they did something like that. It's Hot Toys. Let's be honest. I love Hot Toys. Don't get me wrong. I'm surrounded by them. But it's a very Hot Toysy move to make. But guys, what do you think about this figure? Is this, like, most of us, I think, most of us in this chat probably are not going to get this. But short hair or long hair? Short hair or long hair? Let me know what you guys like more. Because I think it's kind of cool to know. I think that, like, it's cool that there is an option. I just can understand why it's freaking frustrating. And, like, once again, with all of the hair issues that we've even been seeing on, like, the Hot Toys Artisan Joker, you know, like, I doubt that J&D is going to have this issue because they've been doing kind of rooted hair with their sculptures for years and years and years. I feel like they've got it dialed in. But I can't decide which one I like more or less. I think, like, I wish they hadn't chosen the smiling sculpt to represent this picture, to be honest. Because I like the smiling sculpt for the J&D significantly less than the, like, the more stern and serious, you know, why so serious version. Sorry, that was a horrible take. It's because I need drink. Let's try that again. Why so serious? No, still bad. I tried. That was for you guys. That was for you. Let me know what you guys think, the short or the long. Personally, I do think I like the short more. One of the things that I've noticed with the Artisan figures and some of the other Hot Toys that have existed over time is that the longer the hair, the bushier it seems to get. And the more frizzy it gets, the worse it looks. I think that the short hair would honestly have a nicer representation for Heath. Curtis says, honestly, I don't see a huge difference between the hair length. I'd notice it most up around the ears, honestly, like up here and then at the back. I wanted to actually cut the hair of my in-art Joker because on the one that sat with the jail cell diorama, I actually thought that it was too long. But I didn't have any scissors that were nearly sharp enough for that, so I chickened out and didn't do it. Guys, we're about halfway through today's show. I only want to keep it to about an hour of hanging out with you guys because I am going traveling tomorrow. I leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. I am not excited for traveling. Let's do this here. Avengers Doomsday has been announcing their cast, and I don't know if you guys watched it the other day. I watched like 5 hours worth of footage of people slowly filling chairs as the cast was announced, and I've got 4 slides for who's been currently cast. But I did want to mention it because, like, while I'm excited for it, you know, I'm thinking about it from a Hot Toys perspective. I'm also thinking about it from a movie fandom perspective. You know, what characters am I excited to see here most, and what ones am I kind of surprised aren't going to be in Doomsday? Now, let's put a caveat on that. Just because they're not in Doomsday, some of these folks that I'm going to mention, doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to show up in Secret Wars. In fact, I would imagine that most of the characters that I'm going to be surprised aren't in this film will likely show up in Secret Wars. But this will be the one that we get first. So I'll be curious. So let's look at these first, guys. So We got Chris Hemsworth making a return as Thor. I'm very surprised to see Thor coming back, but yes and no at the same time. He's one of the original Avengers, right? So I'm happy that he's back. One of the things that I was surprised about, though, is that Valkyrie is not back, right? The King, So where's she? Why isn't she back? What's going on with her and everything going on with the Asgardians, right? Like what's happening with that? Vanessa Kirby and of course all of the Fantastic Four cast are going to be here. I can't wait to see that Fantastic Four movie, so I'm really excited about that. Also happy to see Shang-Chi making a return. I'm shocked we've never got the Shang-Chi second film yet, to be honest. So I'm very excited to see him coming back in to the fold there. Letitia Wright is, of course, the current Black Panther. Winston Duke, of course, from Wakanda Forever and the first Black Panther film. Virtually all of the Thunderbolts look like they're in here, with the exception of... what's her name? The girl... What the heck is her name? Can't remember now. What the heck is the girl's name, guys? Let me know. She was in the last film. We thought she was a guy, and then it turned out she was a girl. We got to figure out her. Taskmaster. That's the one. We don't have Taskmaster on any of this. What I'm excited to see is Kelsey Grammer making a return as Beast. That's really, really freaking cool. Patrick Stewart is the GOAT. I love Patrick Stewart. Easily one of my favorite actors of all time. I'm very, very excited to see him coming in. Let's see here. Who else? Honestly, I'm excited to see what Robert Downey Jr. does with re-inspiring and reinvigorating the MCU, because I know it's been on a bit of a downward trajectory for people, but I also don't think it's totally Robert Downey Jr.'s within his ability to resuscitate it either. I mean, it's been kind of shitty writing. Some of the shows and movies have been just like okay, they haven't been bad, but an amazing actor and still a lackluster film is still a lackluster film, right? And they can only carry that much more weight. But I made some notes here. So a couple of the figures or characters, a couple of characters that I hope become figures are all of these, by the way. Characters that I was surprised aren't showing up here in the seats, though. There is no Wolverine or Deadpool. Now, I only thought that there might be a possibility that we'd see them briefly, is because, of course, of the success of Deadpool 3, or Deadpool and Wolverine. But, I mean, there was the joke of, you're going to do this till you're 90 for Hugh Jackman. And, he was kind of like, nope. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him maybe pop up in Secret Wars. But I was bummed that he wasn't in this. Channing Tatum, being up here, I was very surprised about that one, actually. I'm going to make a name for myself. I honestly really didn't think we'd see him again. But I think with the amount of people that were really excited about him in Deadpool and Wolverine, it's cool that he's back. Yomo says, well, yo, what's up, Ben in chat? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you here. King Dingling as well. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. If you don't mind hitting the like button either on the way in or on the way out, guys, today, definitely appreciate it. We're going to talk still Daredevil, and we're going to still talk about that Hot Toys Grogu before the end of the show today as well. Just so you guys stick around if that's interesting for you. So no Deadpool, no Wolverine, no Moon Knight. I mean, Moon Knight wasn't the craziest show for people. I really enjoyed it, and I like Oscar Isaac a lot. So I thought maybe we would see Moon Knight by the time we got another like Avengers title film. So I'm surprised he's not in there. Who else? Any of the Eternals. I don't see any Eternals in this list, so I think that they're pretty much just done. Like I don't know if we're gonna ever go back to them. There was some of the folks from the current Guardians of the Galaxy team that we saw kind of by the end of Guardians 3. Now, of course, they called themselves the new Guardians team. I think, Guardians of the Galaxy, they played a huge role within Infinity War and Endgame. So it's weird to me that we're not seeing any of those necessarily teased quite yet. Now, this might not be a final list. There might still be more that are cast for this film, let's be honest as well. And or, again, some of these guys or some of these folks, these characters, may still show up in Secret Wars. Wouldn't be totally surprised. Team All 86 says Peter Parker isn't on there because no one knows who he is. That's right. He can't be on the list. Who the hell is that guy? But you were right. Spider-Man was at one of the top of my list of characters who is not here. Now, again, Secret Wars has a pretty awesome Spider-Man kind of storyline or story beat within it. So wouldn't totally surprise me if we saw Spider-Man maybe in Secret Wars. as well, maybe alongside a Toby or an Andrew again, but that might be stretching. That might be stretching my hope out a little bit. No Daredevil or Punisher has been shown here as well. So again, could show up in Secret Wars, but no such luck for those guys. And I mean, especially Daredevil, with the current popularity of the new show, I think he's been pretty great. Not to spoil too much of the show, especially if you guys aren't caught up. I did feel like there was one filler episode this last week, which was still a good episode, but it did feel a little filler-esque. And I've been disappointed we haven't seen him a little bit more in the Daredevil outfit. But that's all I'll say. I don't want to give any of the plot away at all. But I really like Charlie Cox. I think just as Matt Murdock, he's a badass. I really, really like him. So I'm disappointed we're not going to get to see him in a big Avengers film. At least not this one yet, or based on their announcements. Kate Bishop, I wasn't expecting necessarily, but I was thinking that we might see a return of Hawkeye. Now, Hawkeye wasn't in... he wasn't in Infinity War, but he had a pretty great storyline within Endgame. And, you know, after dealing with the loss of Black Widow, Natalia there, like, I mean, I think he should be back. He's one of the original Avengers. Like, how is he not in here? And at the very least, his successor, which is Kate Bishop, you know, there was a pretty big story beat of her seemingly going to run the Young Avengers team, or be a part of running the Young Avengers team. So I thought we'd see her in the next, like, big upcoming Avengers film, and not cast quite yet, so that's odd. Another one that stands out to me that's not here is Nick Fury. I was blown away. I mean, Nick Fury has been showing up, I feel like, in virtually every Avengers film that I can remember, I think, for the most part. But his Secret Invasion show didn't do so well. So, like, maybe that's part of it. Curtis Booth says here, weird no White Vision. Yeah. So I know that there is the Vision Quest television show that is supposed to be forthcoming, coming up. So yeah, I'm surprised, right? I mean, White Vision was part of the West Coast Avengers in the comics, so I would have, again, expected to see him. And once again, a very recognizable character and voice, kind of within the Avengers sphere, right? So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about that one too. None of the Hulk families on here, so no She-Hulk, and no regular Mark Ruffalo Hulk. And again, it's wild to me to think of an Avengers film without Hulk in there. Now, I mean, the last time we saw Hulk was, you know, he was doing yoga, I think, I think that was the last time we saw him. Yeah, he was doing yoga with She-Hulk, or Tatiana Maslany's character. Yeah, not as badass as we would have liked to see. I mean, I guess the very last time we saw him, he was introducing his son in his Hawaiian barbecue t-shirt, which is probably the least cool version of the Hulk I've ever seen in my life. And I've heard, you know, comic theories out there say the only way we can get really cool, vicious Hulk back is if we, you know, if his son gets killed, basically. But none of us have any connection to his kid, so I feel like most of us would root for it. You know, like, you hate to see it. So yeah, it's weird to me that there's no She-Hulk at the very least. There's no regular Hulk in this film. There's not even what's here, at least teased, there's no Red Hulk in here either, right? There's no Harrison Ford, you know, there's get off my plane. No Harrison Ford in here. You hate to see it. So also a little strange. Now let's talk about the X-Men, because, you know, seeing Charles Xavier come back, or Patrick Stewart, we're seeing Nightcrawler in there, Mystique, it looks like that, like, there's a couple of them. Where the hell is Storm? Halle Berry is still beautiful and awesome. She was badass in John Wick 3. Yeah, John Wick 3, sorry. She was badass in John Wick 3, Parabellum, I think it was called. I want to see Halle Berry back. She was beautiful, and if you ever missed the movie, what the heck was it called? Oh, I forget what it's called now. It was where she was in a film with Hugh Jackman. She was topless in that movie. If you missed it, it was a good scene. It was a good scene back in the day. Not to be a pervert. She was wonderful, though. And yes, we need Storm. In the comics right now, too, Storm is like godlike power, or goddess-like power. She's taken out gods left, right, and center. It's pretty cool reading. So if you've missed out on the last couple years of Storm comics, I would recommend it. And she's shown up a couple times in shows like What If, right? And so I'm surprised we're not getting her back. Swordfish, that was the film. You guys knew. I love to see it. Also really shocked that we're not seeing a Jean Grey come back, especially since Cyclops is in here. and because of the kind of the revisionist history, right? Whereas I think it was at the end of Days of Future Past, I think it was, where, you know, suddenly that storyline of her becoming Dark Phoenix never happened, so then she was safe and secure within the X Mansion. I'm surprised we're not seeing her, for sure. So yeah, her and Storm, big omissions for me with regards to that. I've seen a couple people say, you know, Anna Paquin's Rogue. I don't know. I never loved her Rogue. I mean, she was good for her time, like the original X-Men films. But she never really like felt like Rogue to me. Like, I don't know. I never liked her that much, I guess. So maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe you guys would like to see Anna Paquin back. One of my last ones here that I wrote down was Star-Lord. Shocked Star-Lord's not back. In fact, the last time we saw Star-Lord, we were sitting with I think his grandfather at the end of, was it Guardians 3? Yeah, at the end of Guardians 3, the black screen comes up and it literally says Peter Quill will return. So maybe Secret Wars. I guess maybe Secret Wars. But I'm surprised he's not making a return again with any of the Guardians characters as well. So that's pretty crazy. And I guess, oh yeah, sorry, I did write one more down here, and that was, of course, well, two more down. So no Monica Rambeau and no Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. Now, I don't really love Captain Marvel, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hate the first film. In fact, that when she crashed through the blockbuster, I thought that was a lot of fun. It wasn't a bad movie. I didn't hate even the Marvels film. The dancing planet was a little weird, but otherwise I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it either. But one of the reasons I'm surprised we're not seeing Monica Rambeau make a return is because literally at the end of the Marvels, not to give too much away, if you guys haven't seen it, I apologize. I'm going to spoil the ending of the Marvels. Monica Rambeau gets sucked into an alternate dimension, basically, where she meets Kelsey Grammer's Beast, right? So as a result, we were all able to kind of theorize that, hey, maybe that's the world of the Fantastic Four. Maybe that's the world of the X-Men, right? Maybe that makes sense for why those characters didn't show up to help against Thanos in that last kind of world-ending threat. Which would have made a lot of sense. But if Kelsey Grammer's Beast is going to be in this film and Charles Xavier, then I'm curious as to where Monica Rambeau is. Like, is she going to come back with them? Is she still stuck? Is this a different Beast? Like, lots of questions. Happy to see Loki back, though, especially with Thor. I think that, like, they haven't seen each other now in quite some time, right? Literally since, I think, was it Infinity War? Yeah. On the deck of the ship when Loki actually gets killed for real in Thor's arms, right? Like, that was pretty wild. But I also really liked the Loki season 1 and season 2 show. And again, not to try and spoilers, but it's been out for a while, so don't hate me, guys. But, you know, at the end of Loki season 2, now he's God Loki, which, by the way, I'm excited for that figure as well. Now that he's God Loki, I didn't think we would necessarily see him coming back because he's just got too much other shit to do. But yeah, happy to see that. So guys, let me know whether you're watching it on replay or even in the chat right now. Who are you guys surprised isn't going to be showing up in Doomsday? And again, just to put that caveat in there, that's not to say that more people aren't going to get announced, and that's not to say that they're not going to end up showing up in Secret Wars, but they're not going to be in Doomsday, which I feel a little bit sad about on some of those guys. Anyways, let's see here. Jagron2 says, we are getting Shang-Chi and a lot of these characters making me go, who and what? Big Rip says, a young Dolly Parton would have made an excellent Rogue. A young one, yeah, 100%. Absolutely. No Spider-Man, absolutely. Not in there for sure. Yeah, we mentioned this Big Dog Pound, by the way. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. It says, where's Kate Bishop, a.k.a. Haley Steinfeld? Yeah, she's wonderful. S-Beam is here in the chat as well. If you don't follow S-Beam, make sure you go and follow his YouTube channel after the show here as well. Awesome dude over there. Mitchell Lawrence says, ooh, this is a good one. Xavier and Magneto. Enough said. These two as figures would have my money. 100% agree. 100% agree. In fact, I thought about getting the old version from the Picard show of the Exo-6 figure of Jean-Luc Picard, so that I could turn him into a Professor X. And it was actually an idea to, credit where credit's due. It was actually an idea that Eddie Money Mendez gave me because he was thinking about doing the same thing. And we were both kind of looking into figuring out how to get a wheelchair in 6 scale 3D printed, which would be pretty cool, right? So, but I kind of want the big yellow one if I was ever going to get it. Mr. Durr said, I'm surprised they didn't announce Deadpool and Wolverine right away. Yeah, again, especially with Ryan Reynolds right now having some legal challenges with his wife there, maybe that's part of it. Also, I mean, they just had their day in the spotlight, right? There's a lot of other people who want to get their day in the spotlight here as well. Happy to see Magneto coming back though too. Hell yes. Wonderful actor. Guys, we have 42 people watching live on this random Nutyard stream where I just talk to you guys and have fun and hang out. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. If you don't mind hitting the like button, if you haven't already, just so I can try and get as many people to see the show as humanly possible. It would definitely be appreciated. Going back to the Joker hair, long hair or short hair poll that I put up, we had 20 votes. 67% said they liked the longer more, the short less. I guess the thing about long hair is if you have any skill level at all, I guess technically you could cut it yourself if it ends up being too long, whereas once it's too short, you're screwed. I've made that mistake at my own barber before where I've gotten hair and I'm like, yeah, just a little shorter, and then before you know it, you can't do anything with it, so you hate to see it. Big Dog Pound 1 says, I'm surprised Doctor Strange and Wanda is missing. I mean, they are both... I shouldn't say that. So Doctor Strange came out, Benedict Cumberbatch, he actually came out and did an interview and said, I am not in Doomsday, right out of the gate. But he said he is in Secret Wars. So you can look forward to seeing him in that film at least. That's the one actor, or one of the actors so far that have said that as well. I was going to put Natasha Romanoff in here, Black Widow, as a surprise to be not on here list. But once again, as an actress, she's come out and basically said, no, guys, like my character's dead. I'm not coming back. I'm dead. And so, fair. I mean, like, very poignant. And now, I mean, we've had actors say shit like that before to us, right? I mean, how many times did Andrew Garfield say, I'm not going to be in No Way Home? And then he was there. But she's not cast on here at least, so maybe she could be a last minute add-in if she changes her mind. If they back up a dump truck of money to her house, because that's the other thing, right? You got to think Scarlett Johansson, she got kind of screwed over when it came to Disney releasing her film, the Black Widow film, on Disney Plus. I think at the exact same time it was being put in theaters, and so that was a clause that wasn't in her contract or was supposed to not be in her contract, and so she sued Disney and actually won. Like, she went after the mouse and won, which is pretty awesome, and lived to tell the tale. But as a result, I mean, again, they would have to either give her a boatload of money or just on principle, she doesn't need to come back. She's already super famous, and she's in other projects that seem like she's enjoying potentially just as much, if not even more. So I'd be interested to see. Lane says, or Jaguan2 says, you just have to wonder what the price for this movie is, just actors salary-wise. You know, I was curious about that too. I would have to imagine though, like, if you can honestly say as an actor that you're in an Avenger or in an Avengers film, just the, like, things like toy sales, right? I mean, we're literally figure collectors. Things like toy sales, things like marketing, just actor recognition going forward. Like, how many actors, even on the list in front of us, had you potentially never really thought of or was never really on your radar previously to like an Avengers level film or a Marvel level film, right? Most of these folks, I'd never heard of Tom Hiddleston before he became Loki. I'd only ever seen Chris Hemsworth in one film before he became Thor, and that was Star Trek. Maybe Star Trek and Cabin in the Woods. I think I saw those before Avengers, but still, he was still a pretty, like, kind of like low-level actor. He was still making his rounds up the food chain. Same with Sebastian Stan. I'd never seen him before he became the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. So many of these actors and actresses were not really on my radar until. So I would imagine they'd probably be willing to take even less salary just for the ability to say they're in that and have that recognition as actors. At least I would. That would be something that I would certainly consider. Now, guys, I am going to move to a Daredevil slide. It doesn't spoil the show. None of the episodes have shown the image that I'm about to put on the screen. This is all over Facebook today. Hopefully it's not too spoilery. It is a potential future spoiler for Daredevil. I feel just as spoiled as you guys do, but I'm trying to give you the warning right now. So spoiler alert, Daredevil, spoiler alert. We're good? 2 seconds? We lost one person. Hate to see it. Daredevil, Born Again. We've seen now some images of Matthew Murdock rocking the black and red Daredevil outfit, and he's finally got the double D's on his chest. And I'm not talking titties, okay? I'm talking the actual, like, comic book style Daredevil logo on his chest. I'm loving it. Now, I've seen some speculation and even some writing that says that this may actually be from the second season. This may not show up in the first season at all, so I'm not getting my hopes up too aggressively yet. Again, we haven't seen too much of him even in Daredevil's outfit yet. He's been kind of rocking the lawyer look for most of the episodes so far, not to give anything away if you haven't seen it. But I think that this is actually going to show up in season 2, likely. But we have seen from the original show trailers before the show was even released, multiple different cowls, right? We've seen him in the yellow cowl, the mustard and ketchup suit from She-Hulk, but we also saw the Shadowlands cowl sitting there as well alongside the red versions. And man, like, just the Hot Toys potential for me is wild. Now, I'd be curious from you guys who are watching, if you don't mind putting in the chat for me, what look for Daredevil would you want to collect, or would you try to collect them all? Is it something like a Spider-Man suit for you that you would want all of the looks, or is there one look that kind of really shines through? For me, I would say that the Shadowlands look or the classic red look is my favorite too. I didn't love the ketchup and mustard look, although in figure format I've seen it in person. I do think it's a pretty cool figure. I will give it credit. I thought he lost some of the Charlie Cox likeness in the mouth plates, which is weird. I've got the Daredevil 1 representation here, and again, I'm gonna potentially try to get Charlie Cox's signature this coming summer here at the Fan Expo in Calgary. And I'll probably get maybe, like, what do you guys think? A figure box signed or the figure stand signed? What do you think is cooler as well? Please also let me know. But definitely going to try and lock in a signature. But once again, I think the thing that I wanted to highlight most about this is, well, future spoilers, because thankfully we'll see him in a suit at some point. This doesn't look like an AI image. It looks like he's legitimately wearing it. And one of my biggest criticisms of Daredevil in general was that he didn't rock the double D's on the chest. And I just recently rewatched the Ben Affleck Daredevil film. I hadn't seen it in years. It was awesome back in the day. As a kid, I liked it a lot. And I was encouraged to check out the director's cut version. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. I would also want a Ben Affleck Daredevil at some point if Hot Toys ever decided to make it. So Clint Martin says both. Valkyrie says get the stand signed. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Also easier for me to carry and keep safe, right? The art box can go sideways pretty quick for sure. Philip the Fool, hate to say it. I'm sorry, man. I tried to warn everybody ahead of time. This is looking like it's a spoiler, but it's not from any episode we've seen so far. Just put your mind at ease if that's anyway the case. Was it 6 episodes that have shown so far? We haven't seen this yet. I think this is going to be in season 2 or at the tail end of season 1. Big Dog Pound 1 says, I have the mustard suit, but want the classic red. Hell yeah. Shadowland and the all-white version of Daredevil. I don't know if I've ever seen all-white version of Daredevil. Are you messing with me? I am gullible, guys. I'm gullible. No, that's a real thing. I've never seen that before. Let me pull this up. That's freaking cool. Let's get this out of here. 1 second, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. What am I trying to do? Present. Share. There we go. All white Daredevil. Sounds racist. Not intentional by any stretch. Let's see here. Yeah, man, that's actually a cool look. And I mean, we have, the trailers highlighted that White Tiger was going to be in Daredevil season 1. I liked that character for the most part. I thought the suit was a little silly, just a little bit, but I could see an all white Daredevil. Although he gets so bloody in the new season. Again, not to try and give anything away, but he gets pretty freaking bloody. So can you imagine him in a white outfit? That'd be such a pain in the ass. I feel like that's the reason that that Deadpool jokes about wearing red, right? Is he can't see all the blood. So there's that, of course, for sure. Now, let's finish off there. I just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on that as well, but I'm very, 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 very happy to see the double D's, as well as, honestly, the Shadowland suit. I think that's freaking awesome. You love to see it. Pound, not puns. Love to see that as well. Let me do one more slide share here. the last thing we are going to talk about today, because I have not had an opportunity to do so, is this bad boy here. Where the heck is it? 1 second. Hey, Grogu. Man. I will say, I did not expect this one. There has been a Grogu sitting in the graveyard on Sideshow in the pram for a while now. It's got to be like at least a year, right? At least a year. But other than the fact that the Mandalorian film is coming, I was thinking that people's love for Grogu was starting to kind of fall off. I know for me it has. I didn't love the 3rd season of Mandalorian. I thought it was okay, but I didn't totally love it. So I never really thought they were going to go back to another life-size representation. And to be honest with you, I always thought that the Sideshow representation, their 1-to-1 scale figure, looked better than the 1.0 Hot Toys. Now, I do think that the likeness here on the 2.0 is superior to the 1.0. His mouth very obviously is not posed open. That was the big issue with that 1.0, if you guys remember. It had an articulated mouth, but then what was happening was people were leaving it in an open position for too long, I think, and it was splitting at the seam as soon as they'd go to close the mouth. So instead of an articulated mouth, now they've given us the ability to fold his legs and sit him down, which is just like, honestly, any doll my sister had as a kid, right? I mean, every baby doll she ever had, you were able to turn its legs and sit it. So that to me isn't too special, I'll be honest. And I know a lot of people had done mods on that original figure and literally cut his legs out and shown how to actually be able to articulate it that way. One of the standout aspects of this for me is the bag that he comes with. Let's see if I can warp up to a picture here. Warp, as I say, love to see it. Star Trek hashtag. Okay, the bag is cool. I do like the bag. But I can honestly say, unless I'm cosplaying as the Mandalorian, which I never intend to do, there is no chance I would ever take this little guy out in a bag in public. So other than maybe like in a display space, if you don't want to take up a display cabinet, I guess you could like hang him on the back of the door in the bag as a way to display him. I think that could be cool. Otherwise, the bag feels a little on the gimmicky side, or it's meant for cosplayers. And if it's meant for cosplayers, I think it does a really good job. I think it looks a little on the clean side, if I'm being critical. It needs to be weathered up a little bit. It looks like it's literally like brand new off the Disney rack, and they just happened to get this guy in there. And same thing with Grogu. He's also really clean overall. I think he could definitely be dirtied up. I mean, his little smock there literally drags on the ground as he walks, right? And the other thing that I thought was interesting is they didn't give him really any accessories. Like, he doesn't have the magnetic ball from the gear shift like he's had in the past. There's one picture here. Where is it? Is it that? It's one of these pictures where I legitimately, when I first looked at it, I was a little bit sleepy. I legitimately thought it was Grogu flipping us off. It looks like he's giving us the finger. Which is also kind of cute. But you know what? He's cute. I like his painting. I think his hair looks great. Also, notably, there is no ear seams on this one, like there was on the Hot Toys one. And actually, that was something that I thought separated that first version from the Sideshow, was that the Sideshow, I believe, didn't have separating ears, and it just looked more seamless. It looked like the puppet from the show, right? And I thought that was cool. This is a hard skip for me, guys. This is a hard skip. I don't think there's any chance that I'll go after it. Figure Poser says, I need the Blind Vigilante Season 1 and 2 Born Again suits for my shrine. So I did see that Soso Toys, or Susu Toys, depending how you say it, was releasing another, I think it was 1,000 copy run of the Blind Vigilante, that original figure that they did with him in all black. And so I went through, was it Kit? Or Collector Zone? I can't remember. If you guys are interested where I got mine from, I can let you know. Send me a message on Instagram, and I can tell you where I got it if it's still available. But my buddy Marco166, he told me about it because he knew that I was looking for one for a while, and they were going for pretty wild money on the aftermarket there for a bit. That version, that Blind Vigilante version, right, with again the black mask and the black T-shirt and the rope gauntlets. Those are really cool. And I think, yeah, Soso did another 1,000 copies going out. So I was able to get on the pre-order for that one. So Still, I think that figure is going to show its age. I was kind of hoping that Hot Toys might give us one, but I mean, it's hard to say. Hot Toys did tease that other Daredevil, the red suit, and we still haven't seen an official order go up for that yet. So we'll find out. This guy is over 2 feet tall. If you have the original one, you probably already have an idea. I mean, I guess if you really love Grogu, you don't have to be in cosplay to carry him around. I just think it seems a little gimmicky, and the bag is way too clean. Way too clean. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that, guys. I think it's kind of silly. It's not for me. Who is getting it in the chat, guys? Let me know if you can. Let's do one more poll, just for shits and giggles while we roll ourselves out the door here. Guys, Grogu. I almost called him George. Grogu. There we go. Can't speak. Yes or no? Quick, guys. You have 3 minutes to vote for me here. Let's see. What are you guys saying here? Tremble Dust in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Live long and prosper. Nothing is sacred anymore. You're not wrong. I think talking about spoilers. Hate to see it, buddy. Sorry about that. Oh, let's see this as you guys vote in there as well. One more thing, and then we're going to wrap it up, because I want to try and keep this to an hour, and I know Brother Cousins is getting ready to go live here, so I don't want to encroach in his time, man. It's just respect, it's respect. This is the Power Gate display for Hot Toys. I got a huge life-size Deadpool out front. Looks like either a really good Spider-Man cosplayer or somebody they paid to do this, but like that's pretty cool, holding the figure. I'm warming up to the fractal armor. I thought some of the first pictures looked silly, but even outside it captures some like wildly cool lighting. Battle damage Deadpool in here. Although that's a weird picture of his mouth. I think it loses some of the Ryan Reynolds likeness in that picture. I think it's just probably the lighting and the angle. Prowler suit, or the Purple Rain suit, I should say. Apologies, Purple Rain suit. Looks pretty cool. There's another life-size Grogu for you if you want, or a triple the size Grogu. Man, I would give my left nuggie to be able to go to a store like this, like an official Hot Toys outlet store, and be able to check these things out. Look at the displays in here, eh? These are cool. What's standing out? Anything there that looks cool? Sorry, I'm flipping through these pretty quick. This is the first time I've even had a chance to look at these. Man, that's a freaking awesome figure, eh? That's the Superior suit one. That's really freaking cool. This dude, they really liked this guy. They must have paid him. Who's getting the fractal armor? Can you guys tell me? I'm not going to do another poll for it, but put it in the chat if you guys are going on the fractal armor. It does look pretty nice, especially out even in daylight. I just think it's a missed opportunity that it's not lit, like more permanently. Even here, obviously, like if it comes with batteries, they either put the batteries in and they immediately failed, or it's a little too bright outside, I guess. But I think you'd see the lights in the eyes, so I think that's a little unfortunate. These all look pretty cool. These are all mostly pretty recent things, though. I didn't know Hot Toys was doing SpongeBob. It's random as shit. Tom and Jerry's cool. I have a running joke with the boys on Collecting Weekly that my theory is that if we see certain cause babies or certain Cosbys or cause babies, that there's a good chance that we're going to see a Hot Toy representation of it. And I've been right, I think, at least 80% of the time. 12-inch Boostering with a $10 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, breaking stream news on a Saturday, March 29th, 2025, 10 a.m. Figure in the Bubble channel, there'll be the epitome of action figure content with the first official episode of Moose and Me. Be warned. AFs will be discussed. I don't know what AFs are. Tell me what AFs are, buddy. It sounds interesting, though. But yeah, Moose, we gotta get you on. Let's get nuts here at some point as well, buddy. I've been meaning to re-extend the invitation to you to get nutty. It's just sometimes that fills up quick, but remind me, and if you're interested, we'll get you on for sure, buddy. And of course, we got to give you a little thank you for this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, good sir. I appreciate your generosity and friendship over the years. Always very, very appreciated. Was that all the pictures here of these cause babies? None of these I think I would want, honestly. Stitch, I'm excited to see the live action Lilo and Stitch. I finally, for the very first time, watched this animated film a couple days ago. I liked it. It was fun. Pretty sweet display. Pretty sweet display. I mean, if I'm being a little critical, there's a lot of posers just in this community alone that pose better than any of the figures in this display. Not horrible poses, but some of you guys pose some amazing shit. So, but this is a pretty cool display, I will say. All the stuff at the bottom there. I saw a Carnage, by the way, on Facebook Marketplace the other day for $190 Canadian. That's insane. That's like $145 American. Like, my first question was like, what's wrong with it? Oh man, I can't wait for the Xenomorph and the Predator figures. The Xenomorph, we did a channel member giveaway a couple Let's Get Nuts shows ago, and the channel member, the Batman, ended up securing the bag. So, but I can't wait to get that in hand. Is there anything else here that was worth noting? These guys are cool, little ones. Yeah, I mean, pretty cool overall. Let's get that out of the screen here. Valkyrie Magnus, dude, thank you so much. Another $9.99 super chat. You guys are so generous today. Thank you so much. I'm just so happy you guys were here hanging out with me. I'm happy that I got to share my sweater. Let me put this on, actually. I told Zach that I would put it on. And now I can be official. Now, I mean, Zach actually earned his. I haven't earned mine yet. But let's see if it fits. Here we go. Ready? Good thing I wore pants for this stream. You guys are lucky. Let's Get Nuts would have a whole new meaning if I didn't. So, all right, what do you guys think? Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Zach, if you're still watching, man, thank you so much. You are the man. And Valkyrie Magnus, your generosity, kindness, and friendship and participation on Let's Get Nuts a couple weeks ago is always appreciated, good sir. Let's give you a thank you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, again, thank you, good sir. I definitely appreciate it there, of course, as always. Guys, I will not be having Let's Get Nuts this Sunday. Unfortunately, I am leaving tomorrow morning for Ontario, which is on the other side of the country, to visit family and my mom and everybody. So I will be missing Let's Get Nuts this Sunday, part of the reason I was here today. But I will be back for Let's Get Nuts panel the following Sunday and somewhere in between. If you guys see the Nut Yard logo go up, you know that I'm about to go and get nuts just casually with you guys. I'd love your feedback on these shows as well. If you guys like this format, I will continue to do them, of course, as well. In terms of the last poll we had there, Grogu, 87% said no, 13% said yes. So I think for the most part, that one is a little bit of a dud, unfortunately. In terms of our channel membership, just to do some housekeeping, I have the link for the channel membership at the top of the chat there. If you guys are interested in becoming one of the Tough Nut crew, you guys will have the opportunity to have any of these nut badges show up beside your name. So many of you guys are now hitting that bub nut status. So happy to see that there. But if you like those cool ones in the chat, definitely become a channel member. I think it's only $1.99, but it puts you in the running for figure giveaways and all of the things, as well as special member shout outs. And I'm considering doing some town halls at some point, as well as potentially some private membership streams if you guys would want to do that as well. And then some emojis if you are a channel member as well. I like this or that one. Dean the Dream Martin helped me design all of these, as you guys know. So I love that guy as well. And hopefully he's healing up there. And then to shout out the Tough Nut crew here as well, we got Alvin J collecting weekly, Money Mendez, 1 Adam 12, 6 Scale Mafia, 1 6 Figure Focus, Feezy's Figures, King Dingaling, Sith Scale Collector, 12-inch Moose Stream, The Batman, The Movie Canon, Park Industries, SpongeBob Square Balls, Honest Hansel, Peter Cass, Harry Dempsey, Ryan Smith, Collector Joey, Sam Gist, Rachel Miller, Jose G. Hernandez, Figure in a Bubble, Collection Obsession, Blurred Dad Life, Balls, Alex Serrato, Pop Culture Relics, Daniel SC, Figurecraft, Trevor Weed, Big Rib, X-Men Supreme, Don Maton, Monroe, Corbeil, Valkyrie Magnus, Brick, Artemis, OG Fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars, Tijuana Mike, aka King Churro, Big Dog Pound 1, Equan, Keith Lee, Hodor 317, and Mike Pause Latoris. Love you guys. Thank you for being channel members, and thank you for being here today in the Nut Yard with me, having some fun. If you like the show, please hit the like button on your way out the door. Please feel free to give me some feedback on the show as well. If there's anything you'd like to see going forward, any type of segments that would draw you in, I'd be happy to consider those as well. But all of that being said, guys, let's roll us out the door. I have nobody to say that we got nuts with, so I'm just going to say it to you guys. We got nuts in the Nuts Yard casually on open mic today. I love you faces. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. And stay tuned for those next figure updates. Next time I'm at a computer and I have the ability to do so, I will give you guys my thoughts on those as well. I love you guys. Catch you on the next one.
Wow, what a great audience. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Because subscribing makes you feel good.
Where should I go? What should I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's gone. It's all gone.